Everyone, Thursday, April 9th. It's Monday, Thursday. Sorry, I'm holding the phone a little differently because I wanted to show you something. In my office at work, my therapy office, in 2011, when I moved into a new office, I asked my cousin, Danielle Kimsey, to paint a picture for me. She's a great artist. Check out her work, Danielle Kimsey. You can find her on Instagram and just his website online. I said, I want something that's like vibrant, that shows like life and a sense of vitality and growth. And I kind of want a tree actually, with the roots and stuff. And so um, I went and bought a big canvas and I had her paint this. Well, I didn't tell her what to paint. I just said I wanted a tree with canvas a tree with vitality and lots of life. This is actually a pretty big canvas. I don't know the size of it. Probably like, I don't know, 4 to 5 feet tall. 3 feet wide. I don't know the exact measurements, but it's in my therapy office. It's the one thing people comment on all the time when they walk in, and it's what they look at actually when they're sitting on the couch. It's currently at home right now. I brought it home for a little bit because I'm actually thinking about putting it in our house because I just like it so much. I want to see it every day. But this tree had me thinking a lot about the people I work with, and usually people come in and not a very good place. Anxious, touch my face a lot. Not supposed to do that. Anxious, depressed, etc. But I wanted them in the midst of their anxiety, depression, relational issues to be able to see life and vitality and this like thriving tree. To me, it's a good metaphor, especially right now. I think the season that we're in, not only with COVID-19 going on, but also we're in Lent coming into Monday, Thursday, heading into Good Friday and Easter weekend. And growing up in the tradition I grew up in, kind of like this non-denominational Bible church, we just celebrate Easter, just the good part, the joy, the celebration. We didn't celebrate like the suffering or go through the season of Lent until I was older and got into college. And a friend of mine invited me to the first Ash Wednesday service I'd ever went to at a Lutheran church. And that was probably back in, I don't know, probably late 90s. So I was probably out of college, 23. And since then, and then working in a Presbyterian church, I just am drawn to this piece, right? You can't have the full journey without all of it, the joy, the suffering, the good, the bad, ups, down, all mixed together. And so today, being Monday, Thursday, we celebrate like the Last Supper, and we enter into Good Friday, which is a solemn day of just suffering and Jesus dying on the cross, and to kind of sit in that darkness and that silence for a couple of days, so that we can actually fully embrace a new life, this kind of resurrected, but this resurrected new life for us on the other side. And being able to enter into this dark season, into the suffering, has made the joy and the new life all that more rich in my mind. And so in the context of what we're going and being sheltered in place, it's really easy to kind of just look forward ahead and try to imagine what it might be like on the other side of this and to have joy and new life. But I think it's as important to sit in the suffering. And suffering, again, is on the spectrum. People are suffering in different ways, and none of it should be minimized. And so this tree is just a reminder that in the midst of suffering, there's joy and there's new life, and there's roots, and they go deep, right? And they grow. And, this month, April, it marks the 34th anniversary since my mom died of breast cancer in 1986 when I was 11. And I never thought I'd get past that, not past it. I never thought I'd get over that, or move on or pick life back up. And in many ways, I didn't. It's not something you get past. It's not something you get over, right? You move through it and you move into a new season of life that's new, but it's never the same, right? 34 years ago, my life would never be the same. And I'm missing a piece of that life I can never capture back. And that's a part of loss and grieving. We lose things, but we find a way to move through them and pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. And there's richness in that. And even life is more rich in some ways because I've suffered through some things like many of you. But every season, I'm reminded of the loss again. I see my kids out there playing in the yard right now. I'm reminded of the loss that my mom will never met them and will never meet them on this side, right? And it was, I'm doing the math right now, 10 years after her death, 1996, that I got up and was asked to do the sunrise Easter service at my small, at the time, it's a small liberal arts Christian college. It's pretty big now, Grand Canyon University. And I was scared to death and I was full of anxiety and I stuttered a lot back then. And I remember preaching a passage on new life and resurrected life, and remember being, man, my life is never gonna be the same. Something clicked for me, and I knew I wanted to serve and to speak and to do things that I wasn't able to do before. And so there's like been this progression, this pattern of just experiencing loss and then experiencing new life. And so I'm telling you that story because my life will never go back to how it was before. There's loss, and I can't recapture that. I can't get that back, right? Can't get my mom back. And I think when we leave this season of kind of moving back into relationships with people and out of this shelter in place, I think life will be different, actually. And I think a lot of people already know that, and a lot of people know that and haven't accepted that, and some people have accepted that, and everyone's in different places. I think I'm just now realizing life is going to be dramatically different. I don't think we actually know how different it's going to be, but there's going to be some things that are really different. And if we are trying to hold on to just going back to something normal, then I think we're going to miss out on the newness and what new life could look like. And so I think a part of moving into new life and embracing that and having eyes wide open to that is to embrace the suffering, sit in the suffering, sit in the loss. And again, besides coronavirus, lots of people are suffering from lots of other things right now. And this is a season that people are remembering a lot of different losses in their life and things that will never be the same. And it's true, they won't be the same again. But there'll be a newness and a new life that we can embrace. And we can look back and reflect on what we've lost and appreciate maybe what it's taught us. You know, there's lots of things that I've learned in the absence of my mom to appreciate that I wouldn't at all. If I could go back in time and fix all and pray that she never had breast cancer and wouldn't die, of course, I would do that in a heartbeat. But since I can't do that, I have to embrace the loss and reframe it and look for opportunity to grow from it. And I think we have to embrace what's going on now and reframe it as an opportunity for growth. If we don't do that, then I think we're going to be disappointed when life is different and it's changed and we thought it would go back to normal. So in this season, I'm going to shut it down for the next few days. I'm not going to post any videos or anything. Just going to spend time with my family, and I'm going to kind of sit and reflect on the loss in my life and the suffering that I've experienced, and just kind of embrace that. And also the stuff that's going on right now, I'm just going to kind of sit in that and embrace that. And I'm going to come out of that this weekend into Easter Sunday and eyes wide open, looking for new life and new possibilities and celebrate that. But I think I have to hold them both into tension. So that's my hope. It's my prayer. Maybe that's something you guys can think about this weekend, is just carving out some space for a couple of days to talk about loss, to reflect on it, to maybe grieve over it, to share it with others, and then to move into Sunday with a newness, with wide eyes open and looking for new life. I appreciate you checking out this video. I realize my hand's kind of shaking the way I'm holding it, and you're wondering what's going on, if I've had too much Starbucks or something, which I have not gone to Starbucks. But thanks for tuning in, and yeah, beautiful painting from my cousin Danielle Kimsey. Check out her work. Guys, I'll take care. Have a good Easter. Bye.